You know what time it is. You know what time it is.
How firm thy friendship. Oh, how
you know what time it is. Come brawl with them boys of the fall. You know what time it is. On the ground with a nose for the ball. You know what time it is. Blood, sweat, and them tears for this game. Leaving it all out on the field with no fear for you lames. Yeah, you know what time it is. Come brawl with them boys of the fall. Covered in gray and scarlet, massive, stiff arms to your jaw. We breaking it. We sick of seeing you clowns with the crown. We taking it.
What up, Buckeye Nation? Welcome to the Buckeye Boys, where we talk about college football with real fans. I'm Devin. That's Mello. And it's a good day, man. It's a good day for us over here on Buckeye Boys. But first, let me start. Mello, how's your day going?
Man, it's great. Got some great news. I'm happy. I'm ecstatic. I can't wait. The future's pretty bright for us.
Yeah, it is, man. If you watch Buckeye Scoop, you already heard, but shout out, man, over there, our Buckeye Scoop family, Kirk, Nevada, Funky, B. Moses, giving us the opportunity, man. We're going to be streaming on their channel over there, Buckeye Scoop, every Monday at 6 and Thursday at 6. I'm excited, man. They've always been family. I mean, we talk to those guys every single day. We share information back and forth. It's mainly a one-way street there right now, but every once in a while we slide them a nugget now and again. But
yeah,
we're pumped about it, man. Pumped about it. It's going to help us get a little more outreach out there. Obviously, they're the biggest Buckeye YouTube show, one of the biggest Buckeye shows, period, around. So excited for the opportunity. Blessed, man. But I just wanted to touch on this, man.
They are the biggest. I just got to correct that. They are the biggest, number one.
That's the kind of people Kirk and Nevada are. For everybody out there that wants to bring up past stuff and act like they know these two guys or anything. For those of you guys that post bad things and almost, first off, I mean, you're allowed to have your own opinion. They could care less about what you think, but just encourage you, man. Try to actually get to know. Have you ever had a conversation with these guys before? Because in the years that I have known these guys, they have been nothing but good to us, nothing but friendly. And I've only seen them care about other people. Legit. I've only ever seen them try to help other people. And that's what they're doing for us. Like, we're not going over there and building their brand. Their brand doesn't need help being built. I mean, this is them helping us. And just goes to show you the kind of heart that Kirk, Nevada, and them have over there. And I'm just grateful for it, man.
Absolutely. 100%. They are definitely good people. That's why when I did the interview with Kirk, everyone knows that he gives them like a little membership for the vets and for Leo and all that. But I wanted to bring it up. And that's why I used the picture that I did, because sometimes it's better for somebody else to brag on you and to bring it up than you to talk about it yourself, because then you look boastful. And sometimes it seems like people don't know that how good of men they are and how much they do help out combat vets and how much they do help out the Leos and the fire department and everything like that. So they're good brothers, and people want to bring up dumb stuff about the past, but you'll be surprised who talks to them. Like, seriously, like, and that shows enough, like, and that's it, you know? So obviously the people that are in power, who you root for and love, they contact them all the time. So, I mean, it couldn't be as bad as you think or trying to make it out to be.
Yeah, that relationship there between the two is better than what you might think. But anyway, man, continuing with Ohio State football, man. It's what we love talking about. Ohio. Ryan Day had a press conference today. Honestly, didn't really learn too much about it, but there's a couple good talking points in there that we're going to bring up. Obviously, as fans, I would say the number one thing right now with the Ohio State fans is, where are we getting this defensive tackle at? Where's the defense? Let's get help on defensive line in the portal. What's going on? Oh my God. In Oklahoma State, graduate entered the portal, Justin Kirkland. He's 340 pounds, can bench press 225 50 times. Where's he at? Has the Buckeyes contacted him? And then the recruiting trail, man. All the players are home, dude. Ryan Day said he wants them to get away from football. I've spoke with several of them. They are home, spending time with their family. And what are the coaches doing? They're out recruiting. So we've got a few little nuggets there to talk about. But let's start off with the Ryan Day press conference, man. And I'll just start off with this. The first thing he talked about was Bo Atkinson. That was the first question got brought up. I love the question because I love the pickup. And I think that a lot of people aren't realizing, before we dive into what Ryan Day said about Bo, is that he played a pretty significant percentage of his snaps on the inside in a tackle position. So he's one of those. Like, I mean, even Jack and JT could have went in, but I do understand we want that heavy one nose guard type person to stop the run. I get it. But Bo Atkinson, absolutely huge pickup. Ryan Day said he hit it off with Larry Johnson, Matt Patricia. His mom's from the same area.
New Hampshire. Yep.
Yeah, Ryan Day is. Just hit it off, man. So we had a video and it said, dude, this dude just feels like a Buckeye kind of guy. And we happened to guess right. He was a Buckeye kind of guy. And Ryan Day did say that Bo is very adamant about wanting to play at the highest level. So that's why he entered the portal, to go out and play at a higher level than what he was now. And I love that competitive type of fire in a player. You can see it in his film. And that's what he's bringing to this room. Great family, great character, great morals, and competitive fire. I don't know what else you could ask for. Mello, what's your thoughts?
Man, my biggest thoughts about this, because I really didn't know that he played all across the D line. It's very fitting if you look at what we're doing this spring season. Everybody has at least one secondary position besides Ethan Onawa and who else wasn't repping somewhere else? Was it Josh Padilla? I forget the other person, but if you notice, everyone has a secondary position.
Oh, yeah.
So it fits with what we're trying to do, and it shows that now we have versatility across the line, and he's basically two players in one, because he can play two different positions as needed. So that gives Matt Patricia more versatility in the scheme.
Yeah, for sure. So love that, man. Another thing that got brought up is something to think about, because we've been talking about culture at Ohio State, the culture that Ryan Day has created there. And one of the pieces of evidence that we have is this last portal season, we lost 0 scholarship players. Well, when I tell you what I'm about to tell you, you realize how big a deal that truly was, because Ryan Day gave us a little insight on the types of conversation that he was having. And here's what the coaches are trying to do at Ohio State right now. They're trying to prep for that roster number to change. The NCAA is trying to make it 105 scholarships. That's the roster number. That's it, meaning they would have to get rid of about 15 people, right? Ryan Day said they're going to operate at about 90 scholarships this year. That's 5 more than last year, 5 up. But I want you to take a step back, because Ryan Day said he was open and honest with players. So what that means is Ryan Day sat down with players and said, hey, look, we have to be prepared as a team to cut 15 players off this roster. Like that, he literally probably told that to 20 to 25 players. He said, I was upfront with him and honest with him, and straight up, that means he told him there might not be a spot here. If they cut the roster, you might not be on this team. And what did they do? They stayed. 2 people left. 2 non-scholarship players left. But Ryan Day had that conversation with a lot of players. So to me, when he said that, that really was another talking point validation that the brotherhood and the culture and the family vibe and the faith that's going on with this team right now is, I think, stronger than what we even can think about or imagine.
Absolutely. I mean, we did lose 3 non-scholarships. We lost TC Caffey. We lost Reese Stockdale. We lost a long snapper. I mean, overall, I would say that's pretty good. Now, it shows that the culture is the best in America, period. Like we've been saying it, there's other schools and other podcasts trying to say it about their team, but it's just not true. You see the players that come on here, and what do they talk about? They talk about the culture. That's what they're talking about. And these kids have gone to all those other schools that are claiming their culture is the best. And they're telling you right here to your face that, no, it's Ohio State. So, I mean, You can only have a strong culture or the brotherhood to be strong, to have people not enter the transfer portal when they could get paid more. Look at how much money Oregon tried to throw at Carnell Tate to come out there, and his girlfriend's it goes to Oregon and plays on the soccer team. And guess what he said? He said, "No, I'm staying here." So that should just tell you how important the culture is and what Ryan Day has going on right now. And honestly, shout out to Nick Saban for leaving, because Ohio State is filling that spot.
Yeah, for sure. Dang, what was I about to say? And I did it again, dude.
It's
What
all
was
good.
it? It was something about the culture again, but I forget what it was. But anyway, I wanted to bring this up. We didn't talk about this pre-show, but Emily brings it up in the chat. Said we fired our quality control coach, Joe Lieberger. Yeah. Just goes to show you the accountability that is held with these coaches in there. I don't know any details. All I know is some type of civil rights type of violation, but OSU immediately getting rid of them, handling business. So don't know much about that. Honestly, don't care. I trust Ohio State and the staff there, because Ohio State is known for reporting itself frequently for things. And you heard people like Kirk over on Buckeye Scoop talk about when he worked there. I mean, they had enforcers in that building following people around. So excited there.
It's just, think about it. Think about what's going on with the team up north and all the scandals that they're in, and how terrible that culture was, and how much of a cesspool Ann Arbor is. We don't experience that here. We're going to get rid of you immediately. We do not care. There's not one person or one player or one coach above the block-o. And people have to remember that. You also have to remember that's a reminder of how much the team up north was getting their butts kicked, to the point where they would have done anything just to win a game.
Yeah, I mean, to speak on that for a second, we don't get too big into that. We're just kind of waiting to see what happens. Well, we did learn a couple things that happened today. Two of their coaches got show causes. This had nothing to do with the sign stealing stuff. If I'm reading this stuff correctly, it was all about the recruiting violation. So 2 more coaches on that staff added to the show cause thing. And if I could just still express my concern with some of the stuff I read on Twitter still, and some from some of their fan base, it's just like, dude, okay, so at what point in time are we going to stop moving these goalposts? You know what I mean?
Yep.
Back and back and back to act like everything's okay and you didn't do anything wrong, and you beat us 10-13 and all that stuff. I get it, dude. I've seen that over and over and over again. That is all they got.
Yep.
10-13. And you know what somebody did? Somebody got on there. This is total troll move, but what they did is they calculated the amount of drafted players from the 2023 Scum Natty team, right? 2 drafts, right? Last year, this year. And they compared it to the draft players from the 2024 Ohio State team. And what they failed to realize is, I mean, they're a whole draft ahead of us. They've had 2 drafts. No crap, dude. And you're still barely beating us. Wait till every player on the defense, on our starting defense, is dang near going to be drafted. And our offense too might get up there as well. But that school's a mess, man. I am still 100% confident the NCAA is going to handle it. They're going to get exactly what they deserve. I don't lose sleep or have less faith. That the only thing I want is wins to be taken away, Big Ten titles to be taken away, and the national title to be taken away. That, if I'm just being honest with you in my heart about it, that's all I care about. Now, I don't want to get into, I don't know how I feel about the whole bowl ban thing moving forward, because you're punishing kids that had nothing to do with it. But that gets in an area there where we could go back and forth all day long. The Ohio State fan in me wants a 5-year bowl ban. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then the other side of me that separates the football from real life, it's like, dang, man, so you're telling me some of these kids that had nothing to do with it would be punished? But Not really, because they can hop in the transfer portal and go to a school that doesn't have a bowl ban. So there's another side of it as well. So your thoughts on that
And they
real
knew
quick?
the risks about going there in the first place. They knew what was going on.
Good point.
They do their due diligence, so they put themselves there. Most of those kids had more than one offer, except for Kurt Herbstreit's son. But outside of that, all those kids had more than one offer, and they chose to go there. So they put themselves in there. And as you said, if they get multi bowl bans, they could leave. They're going to open the portal for them, and they could leave. So if they choose to stay at that point, that's on them.
Yeah, that's a good point as well. When you dive into it like that. But anyway, NCAA is going to handle it. They're thinking they're going to skate by all the stuff that has come out so far. The list of things that have come out so far have nothing to do with the advanced scouting. Nothing. So
Right.
And it's a list of what they've got in trouble for already. But anyway, moving on back to Ryan Day, some of the things that he said. He brought up CJ Hicks, obviously a big talking point this offseason. Ryan Day literally said, dude, as I'm walking in here, CJ Hicks is by himself getting that extra work in. So that gets me excited that CJ Hicks is on board with it. He didn't leave in the portal. He's here, wants to be a Buckeye. Ryan Day compared him to Sonny Styles. So as a fan, I'm preparing myself not to get too judgy about what I see from CJ Hicks in the first 2 or 3 games, because take yourself back to the first 2 or 3 games of watching Sonny Styles at linebacker. And we didn't have too many great things to say. It really wasn't until game 6 or 7 that positive things even started to be said about him. So I learned from that, and I will have a little more patience with him. Anything on CJ Hicks, Mello?
No, that's exactly what you said. I was going to say the exact same thing, that we're going to have patience with him. I salute him, and I hope he's a beast. I hope he's so good that he has to leave and go to the draft after this season, because he stuck around. He was the number 1 linebacker in the country, if you don't remember, in his class. And, I mean, it didn't work out for whatever reason. I mean, our defense was pretty complicated to learn. But I feel like he's in a natural position. He just needs to learn the pass move, get some extra pass moves. But the main thing is just gaining some weight. That's what I feel like is the main thing, and gaining some strength. But outside of that, I'm looking forward to watching his growth and his development, and he's definitely going to play key role with us. He's going to have more than one. He's going to have some sacks. So I'm looking forward to seeing his growth, and we just have to remember to be patient with him, because the crazy thing is, if you think about Sonny, how he looked, like, we're just going to be honest, he looked awful in the beginning. As a linebacker, everybody was like, man, hold up, this might not work. And Arvell was cooking. Everybody wanted Arvell, right? And then by the end of the season, Sonny's easily a top 3 linebacker nationally. I think Sonny's going to be the best linebacker in the country next year. And he's only played linebacker 1 year of his entire life. So that just says a lot about the development on this coaching staff. And I'm looking forward to watching CJ Hicks do the same with the GOAT.
Yeah, for sure. Ryan Day stated that CJ is really good in the pass game, but working on, like you said, Mello, putting on that weight so he can get a little bit better in the run game, which is pretty obvious. I mean, that's not anything new. Small detail, Ryan Day said, I just love hearing Ryan Day. This is how connected he is with this team and his players. He said that he wanted these guys to have a long break and get away from football. Get out of here, get away. Stay away from football, detach yourself, because he knows when they come back, definitely with the first we play Texas, probably the number 2 team in the nation. If you think Ohio State's number 1, which I do, Texas is my number 2. They're going to have to get on it a little bit more. They're not going out there and playing Bowling Green and can just implement a couple things and go out there and win just on talent. It's not going to happen. They've got to be, playing at a high level. So, I love that Ryan Day knows that, you know what I mean? Getting these guys a break, telling them to get out there. The QB battle, man, everybody kept wanting to ask, and something we knew, but confirmed by Ryan Day publicly now, even though we knew this was already a thing, which kind of still blows my mind that people are still saying Ryan Day will say whatever to keep quarterbacks around. Well, the portal's closed, so why would he say this now? Talking about Lincoln Keenholz cannot be a quarterback here. He's not a good backup. We should go in the portal and get a backup. I don't understand that. I just don't. I do not share that sentiment. But Ryan Day literally said before the spring game, it was Lincoln. Lincoln was the leader. But then he said, but he felt like Julian had a little bit of an edge in the spring game, and Julian has taken that lead back. Now, I think one point in time, I thought Lincoln was going to be the starter. I said I reserved the right to change my mind after that spring game. It is Julian Saint. Julian Saint will be leading this team, and I'm confident about that. Your thoughts on that, Mello?
Absolutely. I picked TSC, but yeah, I'm going to have to switch back to Julian Saint is going to be the future at the QB spot. I think he's going to be a top 3 QB in the country. He might, honestly, I want to say this, but I'm being honest. I think he's going to be the best QB in the country because he has the best skill around him. He has the best O-line in front of him. And from what I've heard, this might sound shocking, but supposedly the run game is going to be better than even last year. And we lost Trey and Q, so that's saying a lot. Our defense is going to be elite. I mean, he has everything around him. So this is going to be a fun season. Enjoy. We're in that rarefied air that not a lot of teams or programs actually get to, where they're going to have multiple years as being dominating. So at this point, it's about continue to improve and to execute and try to stay healthy.
Yeah, I don't want to glance over that. I guess you could call it a little bit of inside information. But I'll just tell you like this. There's several coaches inside of the Woody that are stoked about the running game this year. That's hard to believe. It's hard to quantify. It's almost unbelievable. I don't believe it at this point in time. It's hard for me. I could see why though, but I'm just being honest, open with you. It's hard for me to believe right now. Quinshon Judkins, Travion Henderson, with the offensive line we had last year. It's just like, how do you get better? Well, there's several coaches that, dude, that's what they're talking about, the run game. I don't know if it's Coach Bowen coming in. I know that Coach Locke is in love with CJ. I mean, he just is the West Virginia running back, and you heard it straight out of a couple players' mouths here on this channel. He's the last person on the team anybody wants to tackle. That's not us deciding that you heard that from players on the field. So I don't know what kind of information you're looking for about Ohio State football, but the information I'm looking for is information directly from a player's mouth. And TJ Alford and Riley Pettijohn, pretty good linebackers, said CJ is the last person that they would want to tackle, and James Peoples is number 2. So we'll see. But yeah, coaches are excited about the running attack that Ohio State's going to have this year, and it's getting me excited as well. Last thing, as far as the Ryan Day thing go, kind of speaks along the running attack, is Austin Searville's going to be a starter somewhere. Again, nothing new. I just said, didn't really learn a lot of new information, but the fact that Ryan Day keeps bringing up Austin Searville, Iron Buckeye, the whole 9 yards, it kind of switches things up with our idea of the offensive line. Because when you think about where would Austin Searville start? Well, you go with, he started the spring at left tackle. Then he moved over to right tackle, played the spring game at right tackle, and then
he played some guard too.
Yeah, he played left guard. He filled in for Donnie when Donnie wasn't here the first part of the season. He played left guard. Then he rotated in and out with Tegra at right guard. So it's just like
he just didn't play center. That's the only spot he's not going to play. So it's going to be one of the 4.
Yeah. So it's like, what now? What's this offensive line going to look like? Here's a couple concrete things. Ethan Anianwa, left tackle. Carson Hinsman, center. Those are the only 2 that I think are. Now, what I think is going to happen, it's going to be Luke Montgomery at left guard. It's going to be Austin Searville at right tackle.
Who's right guard? That's where the question is.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
Tegra or Philip Daniels or Josh Padilla's in there. I mean, I don't know. But I like that you have this many people battling that I'm confident in. We know Tegra can go in there and play. He can get it done. He's got a lot of room for improvement. Ryan Day said Tegra's gotten better as well. So, I mean, if you're at Ohio State and you're a player, you're going to get better. You're just not going to be on the team. With that culture, Tegra's being pushed. That's a promise. So what he did last year, he had a lot of good games, a lot of bad games. Well, hopefully this year he has more good games than he had bad games last year. And I have faith in that. Like, this is Ohio State football we're talking about. So I think we've got a lot of options with this offensive line.
A lot. I think the O-line is the deepest room. I think it's even deeper than wide receiver. It's so ridiculous. You can even move Austin to right guard and Phillip Daniels to right tackle. Or, you could do a whole lot of stuff. I think Carson Hinsman is definitely the center. Otherwise, you could have Josh Padilla playing center and Carson Hinsman playing right guard and Austin playing right tackle. There's just so many combinations that it's ridiculous. We are now technically O-line U. Just watch.
Yeah, no, I know. It's getting there. And we're going to dive into here in a little bit Tyler Bowen and what he's still doing. It's just, I love it. He's an absolute beast. But I lied. The last thing Ryan Day talked about, we're going to kind of go into some information tied to that. It's what everybody wants to hear about, man. Are we getting a defensive tackle in the portal? I kind of went off a little bit yesterday on that, trying to decide where the heck is this coming from. And again, I read 10 more articles today from The Beat stating how we need a defensive tackle. Ryan Day said it today in his interview. He said, yeah, we're looking for a defensive tackle, but we're not just going to go out and get one. So I'm not sitting here saying we don't need some help in there. I still think it's being exaggerated at a little bit more of a problem than what it really is. I do. I think a lot of people have the mindset that if we don't get a defensive tackle, our defensive line will be bad this year. I think that's what some people are thinking.
Right.
I'm not there. I think what we're trying to do is go out and get a defensive tackle to make our depth go from good to elite.
Yep.
Right. I think our starting defensive line is going to be elite. Yep. I do. It's the depth that we're worried about here. And I think we have good depth. I don't think we have elite depth. But let me ask you this question. What type of depth did we have last year? How would you categorize the depth that we had last year? This is for the chat. Give me a 1 to 5. 5 being you thought our depth last year on our D line was elite is a 5 and not good is a 1. So where were you at last year, Mello? What were you at last year with our depth?
Honestly,
now this is where it starts.
Yeah.
The beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Where were you at with our depth? What'd you think it was?
To be honest, I thought we were too deep. I thought our first and second lines were excellent. And it's crazy because I actually feel the opposite. Like I was worried about the O-line last year. Now I feel the opposite. I feel like our O-line, we have 10 starters that could start. And I feel really solid, really great about the O-line. And then the D-line, I'm like, I don't know about the depth, right? So, like, it's like a flip that we did. But we saw the O-line developed and how they improved through the season and how they ended up finishing the season. So I could see us, if we don't get another defensive tackle or another D lineman, the D line doing the same thing that our O-line did last season, improving over game to game to game.
Yeah, 100%. It's just, I hope people will get what I'm trying to say here. I think we're dealing with Ohio State problems. I think a lot of teams in the nation would love to have our backups. They would, a lot of our too deep, even players like Tywan Malone and Jason Moore are probably going to some other schools and starting. I mean, they've been with Larry Johnson for 3 years now. And as much as you want to critique Larry Johnson on his recruiting, which I do too, I think there's a little bit left to be desired there. What you can't do is recruit in a critique in a negative fashion his development. I mean, you can try to say Jack Sawyer and JT, they were 5 stars. That doesn't match where they went in the draft. That took them 5. You can try to justify it all you want. Point is, our starting defensive line got drafted. I mean,
the entire starting defensive line.
Yeah, man. I don't know what else you want. Okay. Jack Sawyer is not a 4th, 5th round draft pick.
No,
that's known, man. So,
and I don't think Will Howard's a 6th round draft pick.
No, but yeah, I was specifically about the defensive line, but 100%. I think that we're going to get these players are going to have to step up big time. But there's still hope. We can still get a defensive tackle portal. Ryan Day said they are still looking. The big one right now, everybody's talking about the Oklahoma State, Justin Kirkland.
Yeah.
He entered after the portal closed because he is a graduate transfer. Graduate transfers can enter. Once you've graduated, you can enter the transfer portal whenever your heart desires. Big old boy, perfect run stopping body. You cannot look at the position he played. You're not going to look at a bunch of production numbers. You can't look at the tackles he had and all that and try to judge him, man. That's not the position he was playing. He's just a big body, clog those things up to make a big gap go to a small gap. That's his job. You know what I'm saying? So he would be a beautiful piece. Here's what I know. I know Ohio State wants him. I know that Larry Johnson and several other defensive coaches on Ohio State have swapped Twitter follows. Okay? That's it. That's all I know. I also know this. It is being talked that he entered the portal because BYU made him an offer. And BYU is paying quite a bit of money for some transfer portal players right now. So, I mean, even the Oklahoma State boards are saying it's a done deal. He's going to BYU, all that stuff. But we're still having tackles enter the portal. But keep in mind what Day said. They're not going to go out and get a body just to get a body. It's not going to happen. If what is in the portal is not better than the backups they have already, then they're not going to go after him. So I ask you this question. If that's true, number one, we know that Ohio State will get players out of the portal if they need them, and they will pay them. So Texas is getting all these defensive linemen, right? And we're sitting here acting like Texas beat us, paying for them. I don't believe that. If Ohio State wanted one of those defensive linemen that bad, they would have freaking got him, man. I mean, they just would have. That's what I believe. So since I believe that, I then also have to question, well, why didn't Ohio State go after him that hard? The only answer I can think of is because they weren't better than our depth to begin with. Ohio State did not think they were. Us fans, we can think that all day long because of what these recruiting services are typing, what their stats were. They got voted All-American freshmen, yada, 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 yada. We don't know. I don't know more than the Ohio State defensive coaching staff. I'm not even saying this is true. I'm just putting a different spin on this, more of a positive one than a negative one. You can go either way with this. Trust me, I know I can do the negative spin as well, that, hey, Texas just paid more. The Larry Johnson's lazy, didn't reach out, yada, yada, yada. You can play that if you want. But that's a question you ask yourself, man. How many if you thought the defensive tackles in the portal were good enough to play here, I would say, hey, Ohio State thinks the defensive tackles we have in our room were just as good as they were. So if you were happy about those transfer tackles and you wanted them, start wanting the guys that are already in the room.
And let me correct something you said. It's not a spin. What you're doing is using logic, connecting what Coach Day said, connecting what happened in the portal, connecting what we've done previously in the portal, connecting what we know that we have on a roster, and putting it all together and making a educated assumption, right? That's what it's more than a spin. To me, what you're doing is an educated assumption. And I think you're 100% right. They have GAs and all these extra coaches that literally their job is to watch film on these D tackles. If they find something that one that stands out that fits certain criteria, measurables, and their highlight reels, they go ahead and bring it to the defensive coaches staff, and they'll go ahead and look and assess from there with Coach Pantoni. And then they'll be like, all right, well, that's not better than our 2D. If you're not better than our 2D, why we're going to take you?
Yeah, and then this is the other part Ken Taco just brought up. The whole other aspect of this, if none of these D tackles met the culture for Ohio State, it don't matter if they wanted to come for free.
Yeah. They're
not coming. Ryan Day's not going to – it's not going to happen. The Syracuse tackle, if Ryan Day thought that he was not a good culture fit in some type of way, I believe that is number one. In Ryan Day's mind, doesn't matter if we would have got a discount or whatever. Yep. I don't think he would have got him. But there was that Georgia Southern defensive tackle that Ohio State was interested in, brought him in for a visit. There's reports out there that they found something in his background, some type of something that got it away. Anyway, he committed to South Carolina. So, I mean, I think that was more of a depth piece. Had a lot of years of eligibility left type deal, 2 years, I think. So not really a lot, but some. But yeah, we'll see. And a defensive tackle from UCLA grad just entered the portal. So we'll see what happens. But either way, with Matt Patricia and Larry Johnson as our coach and some of these recruits that we got in this room, I think we got a coaching staff and we got players on the roster to get it figured out. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
To cover up some weaknesses that we might have.
Absolutely. And we already know Matt Patricia is literally a genius. And he's going to design a scheme to fit the team perfectly. He's going to put the players in the best position to just use their skill set. And we're going to benefit from it. And I can't wait to see it all on the field, honestly. August 30th is going to be a big test from the jump. I like the coaching staff we have with the experience that they have and how they're training these players during the offseason, not just pushing them hard, but they're also giving them that rest and recovery, the mental break, the mental just so that way they won't be mentally fatigued by the time August 30th comes around, because as soon as they come back, they're going hard all the way through. It's going to be another long season. So they need that mental break. And if you go and you're following any of these players on social media, they're still training. They're training with their personal coaches. They're just not training as with their personal coaches as well on their own, as well as the team practices and then the film breakdown. I'm sure they're watching film and then they're training like maybe an hour or two with their personal coaches, including lifting. Yeah, for sure. And, you know, Ryan Day said in his press conference, man, if you are coming here for money, this isn't the right place for you. And he took it a step further and said, if we have to talk you into coming here, this isn't the place for you. Two things there. So there you go, man. Bo Atkinson, he wanted to come here. He wanted to be a Buckeye. His family wanted him to be a Buckeye. He wanted to play at an elite place. Didn't come here for the money. I'm sure he's getting paid just fine. Mm-hmm. And if he performs on the field, remember, he's got 2 years of eligibility left. He's going to get paid even more. Moving on to something else, man. Got to shout out Coach Locke, dude. You guys know us here in the Buckeye Boys. We talk to right now is we've talked a lot of recruits, man. The insane amount.
It's hard to keep up with at this point in time. We've got ourselves in a little pickle of reaching out to these recruits. And I think other recruits are seeing it and they're following us and messaging us and all that stuff. It's hard to keep up with them all, but I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way, man. It's exciting. I love getting into this stuff. I think this is the future of recruiting. Let's hear from these recruits themselves. I'm tired of reading articles and interviews that direct players to talk about certain things and make things seem a certain way. I just want to get to know who they are, and then I'll make my assumptions based off of that, where I think they're going to go. But we talked to a lot of recruits, man, and the number one staff that keeps getting brought up, he seems to be in all these recruitments. It's Coach Locke, man. Even offensive lineman gets brought up, man. I love Coach Locke. I talk to Coach Locke all the time. Now, I'm not saying Coach Bowen. Dude, Coach Bowen's killing it. I mean, he's talking to all his offensive line offers in the class of 2026. He talks to every other day. Every other day. Justin Fry talked to him every other week. I had to get that out there. Quick shot, bang, bang. You know what I'm saying?
Coach Day sent the shot, and that's one of his best friends. He was his best man. Did Coach Day sent the shot at him today?
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, there's that. But speaking of Coach Bowen, put another offer out today to a top 200 offensive lineman, 6'7", 280 pounds, out of Pennsylvania. Grayson McCogg, maybe?
Yep.
I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, buddy. But I think what you're seeing here is a couple of our targets have went off the board. We interviewed one of them. I forget his name. Evan Goodwin. Mm-hmm. Now off the board, and you go and you look, and then he goes off the board. Coach Bowen reaches out, offers Grayson a similar type of player, similar rated type of player, similar body type. So I mean, he's on top of this recruiting thing, and I'm loving the momentum that we're hearing. I mean, I'm going to list some players that I couldn't hear anything more positive about on the offensive line. Micah Champ Smith. I mean, he used to be a top 100 player, but you know how Con 3 does. He's an elite offensive lineman. Drew Evers out of Texas. I think he might be a top 100, top 150 player.
Yep.
Darius Gray, and Felix Ojo. And I know I'm missing some, but I mean, those are 4 big time names right there that, like, at this point in time, Ohio State is either number 1 or number 2, and in one case might be number 3, but I seriously doubt it. So,
yep.
I mean, I keep saying it, and I'm going to keep saying it as well, because I know I'm right. Wait till you see this offensive line class, man. It's going to be such a breath of fresh air. Mel, you got anything to add about Coach Locke and what Coach Bowen's doing right now?
Coach Locke and Coach Bowen are elite. Dev said everything, literally. Like, we are in the top 2 of pretty much every single O-line recruit that he has named just now. And we know that because they tell us. They told us. I mean, flat out. That's how we know.
Handle this comment, Mello.
I know Gray is high on Ohio State, but still waiting for more commitment. Not sure if it's NIL. Answer it truthfully.
I think it's not new.
Nah, it's 100% not new. What I will tell you, we talked to him for about 30 minutes after the show. He wanted to. And he said we could go as deep as we want, ask him whatever. We're not going to reveal all of our sources. But what I will tell you is I would be smiling right now if I'm a Ohio State fan. That's all I will say about that. But, yeah.
Yeah. There's a long way to go there. I mean, he told us he was going to commit before the season. Now it's probably going to be after the season. But he just recently put out a top 12. But
it's really a top 3.
Yeah, Ohio State's in the top 3. You know what I'm saying? So you're in a darn good spot right now.
Yep.
I will tell you this. Let me go this approach. There's a lot of offensive linemen out there, and this is just what it is. Justin Fry was a very good developer. He proved that. But I think he would, if we had him on the show, I think he would tell you he hated recruiting.
Yeah.
There's a lot of offensive linemen out there that we wouldn't be in the top 3 or top 2 for if Justin Fry was still here. That's not a guess. I'll just tell you that.
Right.
It's not a guess. That's a fact. The only other thing, man, that I got on the list for the night, Sincere Johnson. Actually, a couple things. So Sincere Johnson, Jameer Brown, and who's our other offensive lineman from Ohio? We haven't interviewed him yet. Sam Greer. They were all at the Under Armour. Oh, and CJ Sana. They were all just at this Under Armour camp. And Sincere Johnson and CJ Sana, they just got invited to whatever the next step is. They got invited to whatever it was. CJ Sana is the real deal. I watched his film. I never have before. Never really dove into it. I wasn't excited about him, but I am now. After watching that, you can see why James Laurinaitis is excited about him. But let me tell you something, dude. When you get done with this show, go watch some Sincere Johnson highlights. And I'll tell you that the Buckeyes lead for him, not because he's an Ohio player, but because he is the Buckeyes' number 1 target. He's being treated like a number 1 target. Now, I know you got Atkinson out there and stuff, but I'm telling you, the Buckeyes are pouring it all into Sincere Johnson. James Laurinaitis is not playing around. He wants this dude. Regardless of state, they would be on top. And that's exactly how Ohio players should be treated. Just like they're number 1 on your board. You know what I mean? And that's the way it is. We know he's Ted Ginn High School, Glenville Pipeline type status. He's big on wanting to make his own. He's not big on that. He's not going to commit to Ohio State just because Glenville players commit to Ohio State. You can glean that from the interviews that he does. He wants to make I don't want to say Trey McNutt because he's not a Trey McNutt.
He's like a self-made man. He wants it for himself.
Mm-hmm. But put in a, what do we call our things? Not a boys ball, but dang, dude,
A Buckeye ball.
a Buckeye ball.
I forgot what we got to talk to Kurt.
Chat.
I
What
forgot
is
Kurt
our?
said.
Yeah, we need to figure out what our name for, because you got crystal balls, you got RPM picks. What is the Buckeye boys? I'm gonna start doing that. I'm
We
gonna
got to
start.
put up a poll or a question or something on.
I'm gonna start a Google Sheets, and I'm gonna keep track of all the ones that we put in. I got one in for Felix Ojo, and I'm about a 65% one there. I believe that's the only one I put in. Well, here's my other one I'm putting in: Sincere Johnson to a Buckeye, and I got that at 90. But schools like Alabama, some other schools are in on it as well. But back to what I was saying, the dude's elite. Mm-hmm. Very, very, very good. One of the most athletic linebackers in the country. He just is. Who's that remind you of, Mello?
You're talking about Sincere, right?
Yeah. Who's the other Glenville player on our team right now?
Arvell Reese.
Sincere's best friend.
Arvell Reese.
Sincere Johnson said, when asked about Arvell Reese, said, that's my best friend. Okay, so there you go. Okay, and it's a natural. Let's see what some of these people come up with.
But hold on, while you're looking, I just want to bring something up that we didn't discuss. Doesn't even matter. You could keep doing what you're doing. Can you imagine a 26 class of Tyler Atkinson, CJ Sana, and Sincere Johnson? How insane will that be? On top of the 25 class that we just have. I think at that point, there's not a team in America that can even talk about linebackers with us. They won't even be mentioned in the same breath.
Let me ask you this, though. Are you surprised?
No, we got James Laurinaitis, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised at all, dude. This is what Ryan Day is doing. I mean, look what Ryan Day is doing with this coaching staff. You got Brian Hartline, the best recruiter in the nation.
Yep.
You got James Laurinaitis, who is getting to that level. I mean, he started off with Tarvos Alford and Riley Pettijohn and Eli Lee. I mean, right. Show me a better linebacker class that got signed in 2025. Show me one. Like, unbiased, somebody show me. And this year, CJ Sana, not really highly ranked. Not a lot of people are going to be super excited about him. He's very, very good. But yeah, you get even if you get Sincere Johnson in there, that turns that class into a big time class.
And honestly, that you said that, CJ Sana's only played linebacker for one season.
Yeah.
And if you look at his film, he's killing quarterbacks. They're using him more of a spy. You could even go 4-3, at some point with Tyler and Sincere on the outside and CJ playing Mike linebacker if you wanted to against certain teams. Like, it's just ridiculous what we're doing and what Coach Day's doing and the staff is doing in terms of recruiting, in terms of developing different schemes and getting these guys ready for the NFL. All our coaches have either played in the NFL or coached in the NFL at some point, minus maybe Carlos Locke.
Yeah.
And Coach Key. But Coach Key, what he's doing with that tight end room, I mean, he's going to be pumping them out into the NFL as well. So, I mean,
I know.
We are blessed to be Buckeyes. That's all I could say. It could be worse. We could be getting sanctioned to death.
So we got a lot of people saying Buckeye boys bomb. We got a BBZ forecast. Then we got a DeMello ball prediction.
That's kind of funny. That's kind of cool.
We got Buckeye balls. Dennis, that's my dude. Lacey just wants it to be balls. She's gonna put in balls. But so we already got a crystal ball. So we want to eliminate the word ball. Then we already got a Fong bomb. So we want to eliminate the word bomb. We want something new, like a Buckeye star. We're going to put in a BBZ star. No, it's stupid, man.
We're going to figure it out. It's going to come. Kurt had a great one. I just forgot what he said.
Oh, yeah. We'll have to ask him for sure. But let's see. Anything else? I don't think so, dude. If you pay attention to Buckeye recruiting, you can tell the coaches are on the road because a lot of 2027 offers going out right now.
Yeah.
A lot of 2027 offers. We've been messaging them. We got a lot of 2027 recruits lined up to come on here. couple different 5-star offensive linemen. Coach Bowen's already building that relationship. So, dude, I'm excited about the future.
Me too. Everything is going up right now. It feels great. Everything just, and my personal life is going great. Your personal life is going great. For the Buckeyes is going great. For our fans is going great. And don't forget, we're taking somebody to Washington. You guys better study up on your history.
Oh, yeah, here we go. I got to get a new book, by the way. We're running out of.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. You know what's funny? When I play this Jeopardy song, I forget to change it, and I start my car up, and it's just the Jeopardy playlist loud in my ear at like 4 a.m. going to work, and I'm like, oh my goodness, let me turn this down.
Let's see. No. See, there's a lot of questions in here that say, like, in which year did Ohio State running back not win the Heisman Trophy? And then it lists 4 years. I can't ask those questions on here. Who did not rush for 100 yards against Indiana in 2011? Braxton Miller, Carlos Hyde, Dan Herron, or Jordan Hall? Can't ask that question. Okay, I'll ask this one. Number 15 is D. Okay. I'll ask 2 tonight.
Okay.
I'll ask number 18 as well, which is D. All right. Are we ready?
I'm ready. Oh, do you want to explain what we're doing right now to any new listeners that we might have?
So we're giving away a ticket to the Washington-Ohio State game this year. It's away, so you'll have to pay for your airfare and your stay there. If you cannot afford that or something, I'll reimburse you the money that I have into the ticket that I'm going to purchase. The only requirement is that it goes to an Ohio State football game ticket. If you got to save up for next year, hold that money, save it up for next year. And number 2 requirement is we got to have pictures and videos, and you got to come on the show and tell us about your experience at the game and all that stuff.
Yep.
All right, we ready?
Yep.
Here we go. How many touchdowns did Howard Cassidy, score in his first game for the Buckeyes?
Man, who the heck is Howard Cassidy? I don't even know that one.
He was a running back. I know that. All right, the Natural got it.
Woo, that was fast.
Yeah.
Man, the Natural was on it today, huh?
He was, man. Natural's got 4 now. The Natural has 4. See who else got it right. Nobody else. It's just the Natural. All right. All right. Here we go. Are we ready for question numero 2? It's going to be a tough one. Maybe not. It's recent, so it might not be that hard. How many yards did J.K. Dobbins rush for in 2019 to become Ohio State's first single-season 2,000-yard rusher? How many yards?
That quick.
Exactly on the dot. I saw that. That's hilarious. Bro, don't guess under 2,000. I said first 2,000-yard rusher. Dang, man. John got 2 guesses, and boy, you missed it by 1, my dude. You missed it by 1, brother.
10 seconds. And that's it.
That's it. By the way, you only get one guess. One.
Per question.
Dang, Mika got it.
Dang, Mika, I'm sorry it's too late, though.
Yeah, time was
We got to
up.
be fair.
Mika got it. 2003, man. Yeah, some of you guys might be delayed a little bit and all that. I wish there's something we could do about that. There's just not. But here we go. Let's stick with the running back. See if I can find another.
Oh,
question.
somebody's saying Stilly got it.
Did he?
Let me scroll.
Steeler, was that your first one? Did you get it, bud? There's a high probability I missed it. I mean,
He definitely said it, but I don't know if it was in a time frame. It was.
Oh, yeah, Steely. My bad, brother. Yeah, you did get it, dude. All right. Steely got it. My
Stilly's
bad.
going Stilly, man.
Yeah.
That's all I know. Stilly is going to Stilly.
Steely's going to win is what's going to happen. He's got 9.
You know he does this. Like, he does
I
this on
know.
a weekly thing. So, like, he's used to it. His brain just is naturally operating like that.
He's got 9. The next closest people have 4, and that's the Natural, Sean Schrock, Taco, John.
Shout out to John.
That's it. Uncle Bubba's got 2. Russ has 2. Blitz has 2. A. Meadows has 2. But keep in mind, literally, you're going to get on here one day. There's going to be a 5-point question. That's the highest I'm going to go. There could literally be 3 shows in a row with 5-point questions. Literally. So, I mean, this can change at a drop of a dime. Yeah. It could. So, I just want to do whatever to keep it exciting, man. And I'm getting excited because let me tell you something. I've said this before, believe it if you want to, but it's well known that if you start a YouTube channel and you start getting followers, you start getting views, you make money off of these videos, right? You can make money off super chats. YouTube will pay you for some of their ads and stuff. That's not why me and Mello started this show. Okay. So we have some expenses that this channel pays for itself. First off, we hardly make any, we about pay for our expenses. That's all we do right now. But I'm here to tell you that half of our super chats, well, not half of them, all of them go to Teen Challenge, which is a 12-month faith-based discipleship program. We actually donate to the Boys Center, Adolescent Boys. I have my buddy on here. He explained once we get up to 500 for him, we're only at like 150 for each organization right now. Once those both reach 500, we will send those checks out or however we got to do it. We'll show you guys the receipts on here. I know we don't need to or anything like that, but we're going to be very transparent with all this. But, you know, when we start getting more views and more super chats and stuff, the money that we make from this channel is getting put back into this channel.
Yeah.
What does that look like? It might look, be honest with you, some of it might look like new equipment for us, right? That's going to be something, better equipment so we can give you guys a better show. But then giveaways, tickets, merchandise, cool signing. I mean, that's what's going to happen, man. So like if we start making $10,000 a month, we're going to be giving away some big time stuff on this channel. If we make
another thing, like just we appreciate any super chat you give. You don't have to give. We don't judge you. We're not here for that. But every dollar literally does. You're either helping a vet out that's homeless or you're helping out a youth that needs the help, you know, in terms of their struggles. So we appreciate everything that you guys have done and are doing in terms of that. But yeah, we don't pocket anything. Like straight up, we really don't.
Natural, that's a good idea. Giveaways with the spinning wheel. We'll do that. We
that is
money.
That's a good idea.
News on Cujo. Let me explain to you what happened. I was in Tampa helping Angie move. And I got a call from my brother at midnight. The night before I came back, he said, hey, I found Cujo. He's up in a tree. The tree was in a neighbor's backyard. It was midnight. Aaron snuck back there, tried to get Cujo to come down. He wouldn't come down. We couldn't knock on the neighbor's door or anything. It's too late. So Aaron went back in the hopes that Cujo would remain in the tree, you know, because he's a pet. So he doesn't climb much. And he's got stuck in several trees. He'll climb up there and cannot climb down. So I was hoping he was going to stay in that tree. We couldn't see him up there during the day. Too big a tree, too bushy, too many places to hide. I looked numerous times. So I went back out there at nighttime, told the neighbors, hey, I'm going to be going in and out of your yard at nighttime looking for Cujo. He wasn't up there. So now what I've got going on, I got a plan, chat, because Cujo is going to hang around the area. Raccoons are territorial, so he's around here somewhere. I wouldn't be surprised. I still keep food in his cage, and it disappears from time to time. I literally wouldn't be surprised if he's still crawling in the backyard, getting some food and dipping, you know?
Yeah.
But his dad, I'm about to outsmart him because I just ordered 3 live raccoon traps. So I'm going to catch that little joker. But in the time being, I'm going to go get a cat tomorrow. I'm buying a cat, Mello. I'm going to have a cat, dude.
Man, that's crazy. You like these little furry things. Well,
I
get
love
a
animals,
dog, baby. Get a blue-nosed pit pup.
I'm going to have to video this one day, but I have 3 chickens and 1 little chick or an egg that we bought a chick for one of the hens that was sitting. If I go in the backyard and lay down, all the chickens will come stand on me. Like, they're like dogs, dude. If I'm ever cooking on the grill, yeah, they'll fly up, sit on the banister, and just sit there and stare at me. They're like dogs, dude.
Do you play with them?
Yes.
Man, I'm coming to Tallahassee, bro.
Yeah,
At
dude.
some point before the summer is over, before June, I'm coming down there.
Like, when I say I love animals, this might come across wrong, and I'm sorry if it does. So I'll tell you this. One time I was in Teen Challenge, and I was driving a van full of guys in the middle of Orlando. I look over. There's this lady with the stroller. There's a baby in the stroller, and she's got a dog. The dog's leash had wrapped around the stroller wheel, and the lady was sitting there still pushing, choking the dog, kicking the dog, yelling, "You dumb mother," all this stuff at the dog. I bleeped out, put the van in park in the middle of the road, and got out and like stopped the stroller. This lady's yelling at me, saying, call the cops. He's trying to rob me or something. And I freed the dog, and I looked at her and I said, you know, I forget exactly what I said, but it was not nice. I said, I'm not going to do this, dude. So if that, I'm just trying to explain to you, I love animals, bro. Dude, I ran away from the house as a little kid. My parents always found me in my rabbit cage or the chicken cage or somewhere with an animal. I was always, I had pet deer, pet owls, pet squirrels, tried to raise a coyote, pet fox, pet hawk that followed me around for a couple years. I'd ride my four-wheeler around. You would look up, and there's my hawk with the bright orange band on him. I'd put my arm up like this. He'd fly down, land on it. Like, I love animals.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Now we need the pet gator so we could put the pet gator on the pet grill. You wrestling them. I'm coming down. We got to get some. We're doing some gators.
And if you come down and you want to go get a gator, we'll eat. We'll 100% catch a gator. We'll not have trouble doing that. There's plenty around here. But I think that'll do it, man.
Hold on, you got 2 super chats.
Oh shoot, yeah, my bad. Russ, thank you so much for the $9.99, brother. You're always supporting the channel. We appreciate it. Dennis, you as well. Love you, boys. What's that, Cujo? OH.
IO.
Just filled you in on that. I know I brag about Dennis all the time. I'm going to do it again, but you become friends with people in these chats and you never get to meet them for the most part. Well, I was honored and privileged to get to meet Dennis, and he seems like very nice, very cool, very chill in the chats. That matches who he is. Very helpful, very nice, big heart. He's part of, he'll be at the Washington game. He holds these Buckeye parties, part of the alumni thing there. So a big supporter of the channel. Just a good dude to be a part of.
Something for the Washington game?
Oh yeah, dude, the alumni thing, they're renting a boat, going on a cruise, which I'm going to be there for sure. But yeah, man, if you're going to the Washington game, reach out to Dennis, man. Hit Dennis up and meet him. Sorry, Dennis. Probably just put you a lot more contacts on your plate. I'm not going to give Dennis his number out, but if you can somehow get it, reach out to him, man. He's a good dude. Mello, any final thoughts, man?
Hey, shout out to Dennis, man. I'm definitely trying to come to that Washington game. I just got to check my daughter's schedule because I'm probably missing a game anyway. Me and Mika are going to the Texas game. So I just got to check. Hopefully she doesn't have a big game. If she's playing some trash team, I'm going to the Washington game as well. And I'll be on the boat on that cruise boat, tearing it up with Dev and Dennis.
Yes, sir. I love it. Well, like we said at the beginning of the show, man, big time news here on the Buckeye Boys, dude. We'll be over on the Scoop channel every Monday at 6 and every Thursday at 6. We will still be doing our Tuesday, Wednesday, and Sunday shows here on this channel. So
Plus Pops Pod.
Yeah, plus Pops Pot. It will be on this channel. But for now, we're starting off with 2 channels. They're not going to stream on both of our channels. When we're on Scoop, it's only going to be on Scoop. So go over there and check us out. But still keep showing our channel some love. I mean, Kirk and them, they're well aware that part of this is we've always been associated with Buckeye Scoop. I mean, we're a second channel from them. Most of our information comes from them. I'm subscribed to their board. If you're not subscribed to Buckeye Scoop message board and you're an Ohio State fan, it's a must. I mean, it just is. Try it. Don't go off somebody else's opinion of Buckeye Scoop or what you heard in the news or what you heard from another message board. Give it a shot, man. Go over there, sign up for it. A lot of good people over there. And that's where I'm every message board there is to subscribe to in Buckeye Nation. I'm on them. I read them every day.
That's not a lie.
Every single day. So Buckeye Scoop's #1. Like, it's not really that close. So go check them out, but still keep showing our love some channel. Our channel some love. That's kind of one of the reasons for this is to kind of grow this channel over here. But on that note, hit that like button, share this on your Instagram, your Twitter, your Facebook, whole 9 yards. You know what to do. We appreciate you guys so much. We love you guys. Go Buckeyes. OH.
Ayo.